Hey guys, my name is Tessa Canzona and I am a massage therapist here in Austin, Texas. I actually work at a chiropractic office called Lifetime Spines in South Austin. So today I'm going to be working on Mandy and we're going to be doing legs. So definitely before I start working on the leg muscles, I like to warm everything up, and just an easy way to do that is just rocking. Honestly, and it usually feels really good. So, and again, I like to mention in all of my videos just proper body mechanics and how much that can help you with endurance and just enjoying giving a good massage. So really keeping your feet planted, keeping your chest open, and just staying aware of your own body. So I like to start by just rocking my client gently. So you want to start in the hip area and just work your way down the leg. So it's really good to get into that IT band. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my the heel of my hand along that IT band in here as I'm rocking, just to warm it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And the IT band can be really uncomfortable for the client, so it's good to just warm it up before you get too deep. So I like to do that a few times, just starting above the knee, working my way up to where it attaches in the hip. So just taking my time with that. And when you're talking about legs feeling tight, a lot of that can be glute tightness too. So I usually start my sessions with some compressions in the lower glute, the upper glute, the piriformis right in here. So I'm just gonna start doing some compression. So again, you wanna focus on your own body and feeling comfortable. So really planting your feet, and you're just gonna place your elbow and the top of your forearm. You're gonna start working your way up and around the glute. So don't worry about being perfect if you're not totally comfortable with this or you don't know what you're doing. Just start in the lower center part of that lower glute. And again, I'm going to just rock. And usually there's less sensitivity in here than in the piriformis at the very top, right in here. So I'm just going to not put all of my weight. I'm going to start with lighter pressure, lighter to medium pressure, and I'm going to keep rocking, just warming up those muscles in there. And the one thing about using your elbow, you're obviously hunched over more, so you really need to spread out your feet on the floor and make sure that you're not just completely hunched over as you're working. So just working my way up, and I'm finally starting to get into that piriformis right in here, just warming it all up. And there's a number of ways that you can start to warm all of this up. This is my favorite way. So just rocking, and don't worry about being perfect. So another good way to get into that piriformis is what you would call a soft fist. So you're basically just going to form a fist, and something really important to remember when you're doing massages with a soft fist, you never want to bend too much because that's going to hurt your wrist, and the last thing you want to do is hurt yourself giving a massage. So you want to just use that soft fist, and I do a lot of little circles, whatever body part I'm working on. I just do a real slow movement. So getting into that piriformis a little more and just using my soft fist. This is also a nice way to give yourself a chance to just be a little more upright when you're working. So I'm just going to keep using that soft fist, getting into that piriformis all along here. And really getting comfortable with doing this, it just takes practice. So Don't worry about being perfect. And that feels pretty good. And you can rock a little bit more. And so to warm up the legs, I'm actually going to do compressions starting in the center of the hamstring and going all the way down the calf. When you're starting to do leg work, you don't want to just dig in and start going. You really want to warm everything up. So I'm just going to do these compressions. And again, be sure that your shoulders aren't just moving up towards your ears. You want to stay relaxed as possible. So just doing these compressions with a soft fist, going down the leg. And just pay attention to how everything feels. Listen to Mandy's muscles. And I usually go down, a few times. You don't want to move too quickly through anything. Just doing these compressions. Compressions are great if you don't have a lot of time and say your boyfriend is complaining because his legs are sore from working out. Just do some compressions for him. It's very simple and it's a great way to press out the lactic acid and get everything moving more. So I like to do some compressions on the feet as well, just because it feels really nice. And if someone is having a lot of calf stiffness or pain, it's great to work on the feet because they're very connected to what's going on in the calves. And vice versa, if you have really tight calves, it's going to affect your feet. So just doing some compressions. And now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and start doing some effleurage, just warming up the soft tissue a little bit more. And today we're actually going to focus on doing more of a relaxing type massage. I do a lot of deep tissue, but we're going to do a little more relaxing today. So just getting that oil on my hands. And it's all about just finding a continuous movement. So you really want to be as smooth as you can. So I usually start on the calves and I work my way up. And I even get into the feet. And don't be afraid to use plenty of oil. Don't drench her in oil, but use enough. And you can even do just one movement. So starting at the bottom of the leg, the ankle, and going all the way into the feet. And this usually feels really good, this effleurage. So I'm definitely working the soft tissue. I'm not really getting into anything that's going to relieve tightness very much, but that's okay. So starting with this and getting into the side of the leg where that IT band is a little bit. So once you do that, you can form that soft fist again. So you're actually going to place the top of your hand. So your your wrist is going to be bent slightly and it's going to move around, but you don't ever want it to be exaggerated like that. So, and it's really good when you're working, especially on the legs, to focus on your core. So as a massage therapist, I would encourage you to do core exercises often and just keep your core really strong because it's going to help you with endurance. So getting into this medius muscle on the side of the leg. So I'm going to start by just working on this muscle before getting into the hamstring right here. So just getting into that muscle with a soft fist and working my way up. So just again, pay attention to what your client's muscles are telling you. You don't want to just check out and start thinking about lunch. So really pay attention. Getting into that medius, and I'm starting to round my low back. So again, just be aware of keeping that, lunge position, really being strong in your legs as you're working. And don't be afraid to go all the way up to where the hamstrings meet the glute. So you really want to work on that hamstring all the way up to where it attaches. So starting at the bottom and working your way up. And just keeping that soft fist. And again, I see my wrist bending a little bit, but you just want to be careful not to let it bend too much. So you definitely want to work on that medius, that hamstring right here and right here before you get into the IT band. So now we're ready to get into that IT band a little bit more, and it's that tendon that runs all the way. It actually starts below the knee and it goes all the way up into the hip. And if you're a runner, if you're really active, even if you sit a lot, the IT band can get really tight. So what I'm gonna do is just do some more effleurage. So I'm just gonna bring my hands together, and you can even place one on top of the other. So you can begin to just warm it up and to really get in there. You know, if you don't have a stool, you can just get onto your knees if it's a soft surface that you can get down on, but I'm gonna go ahead and just sit down. So to really get into that IT band right here, I always use the heel of my palm. So that's where the pressure is gonna come from, is right here. So I'm just gonna find that IT band, and so it's right along the side of the leg right here. So you'll feel it. So you're just gonna start nice and slow, and you don't wanna just dig in right away because the IT band can be very tender. So just going all the way up to where it attaches in the hip, and really take your time with this. There's a number of ways that you can work on the IT band. This is a very simple, straightforward, and effective way. So again, be sure that you're not feeling pain in your wrist. If you are, you really need to straighten yourself out a little bit more. So just a few times, really moving up. And when you move up the body in massage, it is really good for the heart. It stimulates the heart, blood flow to the heart. So just keep that in mind as you're working. And feels pretty good. Got some nice releases in there. So moving on to some Petrissage, some kneading of the muscles. So this usually feels really good in combination with deeper work. This takes a little while to feel comfortable with, and that's okay. Just practice makes perfect and feeling more comfortable. So just gonna knead this hamstring. Again, staying present in my own body. And you can get into the adductor a little bit, the inner thigh. Just kneading. And take your time. Your client definitely wants to feel like you're taking your time and not just rushing through everything. So don't be afraid to move a little bit slower. And just finding a nice pace with this Petrissage. I love doing Petrissage. It's probably my favorite part. So just warming up the tissue in there a little more. And you want to keep your hands on your client as much as possible. So even when I'm transitioning to the next thing, I usually keep one hand or, part of my hand on my client. So usually I would do the other side. For time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and just move on to the feet. So I'll usually just do a few more compressions. And we're going to end with the feet. So you want to be sure that you're using plenty of oil on the feet. It's actually easier to use lotion on the feet, but oil is all we have today. So I'm going to make it work. So I'll just do, just some nice strokes down, getting that oil on. And you don't want to go super fast with this. Just want to take your time. So again, you're using a soft fist with both hands. And you can work on that Achilles heel a little bit, just pressing the heel of the hand in. This is great for someone that runs a lot. Really just massaging that area, and then you can do just small circles on the outer part of the foot, the inner part of the foot. Just some small circles, and you can even just press here. There's a nice trigger point in there that usually feels really good. Just pressing. All right, so then you're just gonna go ahead and grab that foot and you're gonna form a soft fist. So you're just gonna start in the arch of the foot, and so really just pay attention to how everything is responding underneath your hand. So you can even start to do some kneading on the bottom of the foot. So, and pay attention to, you can use your finger here to get into the outer part of that foot a little more. And just kneading. And even massaging the very center down. Just using that soft fist. If you don't have a lot of time for feet, for more detailed work, just the soft fist is a great way to fit in the feet, and it usually feels really good. So then you can go ahead and just one toe at a time. Pay attention to your body and how you're feeling. And just pulling. And you can even get into those joints a little bit by just little circles, little tiny circles. And moving to the other foot. The same thing, just Achilles heel. Massaging that. And little circles on the inner and outer parts of the feet. And you can press. This is good for anxiety. If your client is having some anxiety, this is a great spot to spend a little more time on. And feet in general are just really relaxing. So, little circles and then soft fist again, starting with the arch, working your way down, and be sure that you're just paying attention to what you're doing. It's important to have that sensitivity and that mindfulness. And you can start to do some kneading down there, and you can work on that center part of the heel. And be sure to just use all parts of your hand, of your fist. So you really need to pay attention to have that sensitivity. And then you can finish the feet. Really take your time with the toes. This feels really good. Just using nice, even pressure. As you pull, and then you can do little circles, getting into the joints a little bit. And then soft fist with both hands. So just finishing with nice firm pressure, nice even pressure. And one way to get into the connective tissue a little bit and stretch it a little, as well as provide some decompression to the low back. I know this is a legs video, but it's a pointer for the low back too. So this feels really good on the legs and back. So you're just gonna pick up her leg and make sure that there's no tension. You want her to be completely relaxed. Just so you know, this is a lot easier if you have a sheet or something that you can throw over. Usually I would do it with the sheet over like this and grip on, because it's easier to grip. So we're not going to do that right now. So just grabbing on, and the most important thing when you do this is that you're safe. So my back is nice and I have that curve in my low back, my legs are strong, and I'm just gonna pick up her leg and pull, and you can just shake. This is great for the connective tissue as well as the low back. It's great for decompression in the low back. And I'll do that 2 or 3 times. And sometimes it helps to have a wider stance. If you have a bigger person that you're working on, especially, you just want to widen your stance. So again, just making sure that her leg is nice and relaxed, and then paying attention to my own back, and just some wiggles, and one more. Just shaking out that tension. And I like to end with just some steady pressure on the feet. It's great for grounding and just ending the massage in a really nice way. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe down below if you liked it, and if you'd like to book a session with me, I work at Lifetime Spines Chiropractic in South Austin, and you will find a link to that down below. So I would love to see you and work on you, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.